It is the season of IPOs, looks like it, Vinny, and we have the management of Utkarsh Small Finance Bank joining us on the show. We have Mr. Govind Singh, who's the MD and CEO, as well as Mr. Sarju Simaria, who's the CFO at Utkarsh Small Finance Bank. Very good afternoon to you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us on ET Now. And let me begin by asking you about your promoters and the current investors in Utkarsh Small Finance Bank. Given the fact that you're coming out with an IPO, will they be exiting?
So our promoters are, Utkarsh Core Invest Limited, which, they hold currently 84%, and post-listing it will be below 70%. And there is no OFS in this case. So the entire issue is primary issue. So there is no question of any exit by the holding company investors because of this IPO.
Right. Also just want to understand, so what's the main object of this issue, and will there be a continued dilution going forward as well?
So primarily this is our growth capital, and for any financial services institution, capital is the basic raw material. So we will be raising this. We are raising this equity for growth capital, and based on our future needs, it's very difficult to predict when we'll require more capital. But based on our growth requirement, we may have to come to market again. And you are aware that RBI requires 15% as capital adequacy. Currently we are 20%. And so that's it. It is for basically the growth capital. At the same time, sometime it also helps in case there are exigencies, there are some issues in the market, and sometimes there are those type of challenges are also there. But otherwise, largely it is growth capital.
Right. Could you talk to us more about your loans? Given the fact that you have a large exposure to microfinance, do you plan to diversify risk going ahead?
So almost 14 years back, we started as NBFC MFI, and after becoming a bank around 6 years back, we started diversifying our product and geography, because banks are expected to be diversified book. So we are seeing you must have seen the trajectory that every year we are able to reduce our exposure in microfinance and increase the exposure on other portfolio. It doesn't mean that we are not growing our microfinance book. We are certainly growing that also. But the other asset classes are having, you can say, a lower base, so the growth rate is higher. So that is what is happening. And it seems that the trajectory will continue, because, we are growing our non-JLG or non-microfinance, verticals, on a continuous basis.
Just to add to Govindji, that while we started with microfinance business, becoming an SFB, it's important to diversify the portfolio. So while on a low base, secured book is going with a faster pace, but we continue to have microbanking as a relevant vertical, senior vertical, and we see this space to go up in unsecured book, and as an eventual natural progression of reduction in the microfinance book.
Sarju, let's just focus back and talk about in terms of your IPO, because where do you see the price to book post the issue for your bank then?
So, at the moment we are priced to book at 1.12 FY23. We will wait for how the market, gives us value on this.
Right. And has the MFI cycle actually turned around? How will the recoveries, if any, actually shape up going ahead for Utkarsh Small Finance Bank?
So initially, when COVID struck, initial phase, especially the microfinance sector, faced a lot of challenges, because, the model operates on a face-to-face interaction with the customers. But for last 1.5 years now, we have seen a significant robust recovery of collections across, in fact. And, I'll use the word now, it is very close to normal in terms of recovery. And that trend looks like will continue.
Also, just lastly, if you could tell us, how have you managed your credit risk in the MFI sector then?
So this model actually is very important from the sourcing side, how you source the customer, how you meet the customer. The entire process is a little different than, how, you can say the way retail lending happens in urban space. So it is a little different, and the process is supreme in this case. So I think, that's our experience in 14 years also. If your sourcing is good, your process is good, and when you meet the client for the first time, you are able to, give all details to them in a robust fashion, and build them, and ensure that the right targeting segment of people are given loans, then we have never seen a challenge in collection. Having said so, we are not forcing any major, you can say changes in the collections part or in the overall quality of portfolio going forward also. And of course, the COVID was a different phenomena altogether, but now it has come back, and we expect that this, you can say the overall growth as well as collection focus and quality of portfolio will remain there for future.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining in with us this afternoon on ET Now. And that was the management of Utkarsh Small Finance Bank.